Namaste. Hello everyone. Welcome to Shal Gulhati, Shiva and Mysticism for another episode of Monday with Mahadev. Today I'm going to tell you the story of Shiva and his friend Vishwakarma. Vishwakarma is the Hindu Devata, the Hindu god who is the great architect. He is one who can create anything like a mansion, a palace, a building, maybe another universe, because he's an architect, he's an engineer. And all the gods, the Devi Devtas, call upon his services to make things for them. And he is also an ironsmith. He has his own foundry. He can do metal works. He can do clay works. He can do pottery. Basically, he can do anything, which means making things out of matter. And in India, in the factories where workers work, we collect on a particular day which is called Vishwakarma Day. On that day, we actually do puja, we do prayer to this Devta so that he may bless our factories, our workshops, our workplaces, our foundries, and so on. But I'm going to tell you a very interesting story which I heard maybe 20 years ago on a Vishwakarma Day from one of my workers. He was a very learned man and he told us this story when it was his turn to speak. So he says, one day Lord Shiva saw that his Trishula, his trident, the one with which he keeps the law and order, which is his weapon, by attacking too many of these demons or doing too many things with it, it had become rusty and almost broken. So he needed a new Trishula, a new trident. So Shivji told Parvati, he said, well, I'll be gone for a long time today. She said, why is that? And he said, well, I'm going to go down the hills and into the city, and I have to meet Vishwakarma because I need to have a new Trishula and I will ask him to make me one. So she said, all right. So Shivji went on Nandi and went past the mountains and the hills into the city where he found Vishwakarma seated in his foundry. And Vishwakarma got up very politely and saluted Shivji. He said, Namaskar, what can I do for you? So Shivji told him, this Trishula of mine, it's broken, the trident. So I want you to make me a new one. So Vishwakarma said, all right, I will do it shortly. And then you can visit me another day and pick it up. So Shivji said, fair enough. And he went home. After about a week, he went again to Vishwakarma and he said, do you have my Trishula for me? And Vishwakarma said, no, my lord, I don't have it. It's not ready. So Shivji was a little disappointed, like we all are when we order something new and we have a delivery date and we think we're going to get it and we don't get it. But anyway, he kept his calm and he went away and he said, I will come back again. So maybe after another week, he went yet again to Vishwakarma and said, is my Trishula ready? And Vishwakarma again said, no, it's not ready as yet. So this went on for 2 or 3 more visits. And finally, one day came when Shivji said, I can't do anything without my Trishula and Vishwakarma is not making it. So he was a little huffed up, a little annoyed. And he went to Vishwakarma again and he said, Vishwakarma ji, where is my Trishula? Is it ready now? So now Vishwakarma, such a great engineer, such a great architect, a person who could make great mansions and great palaces and great things for all the Devis and Devtas, obviously a very wise man. He could sense that Shivji is now a little annoyed. So he said, oh, forgive me, Lord, actually, I forgot to take the design from you. So Shivji said, what? Design? So Vishwakarma said, well, when we need to make a house, we need a design. We need to make a palace, we need a design. We need to make some kind of a gadget, we need a design. So, do you have a design for your Trishula? So Shivji said, no, I don't have a design for it. So Vishwakarma said, all right, that's okay. And he said, can you step outside, please? So he took him to his backyard, and there was a lot of sand lying there. He said, my lord, can you draw your Trishula on this sand? And Shivji said, yes, I can. So with his finger, he went on the sand and made the sign of the trident, a large one. And Vishwakarma told him, make it the size that you want. So Shivji drew maybe at 6 feet or 8 feet Trishula on the sand. And he was not seeing the point of this. So Vishwakarma said, my lord, your Trishula is ready. So Shivji said, where? He said, what you just drew on the sand, pick it up. And yes, the legend is that Shiva put his hand in the sand on his own etching and actually picked up a brand new Trishula. While my worker who told me this story wanted to show the prowess of Vishwakarma, the great genius, that merely a drawing on the sand was enough for him. He had such magic and such beautiful engineering art that this is how he replaced Shivji's Trishula. And while I honor that, and that is the folklore, that is the legend, and it is really salute-worthy, but I must tell you another thing. Actually, we only think of the Trishula as a weapon, a trident. But Shiva's Trishula stands for 3 things, 3 of his own Shaktis, which is Ichha, Gyan and Kriya. Ichha is desire. When we want something, we must have a desire for it. We desire a house, we desire a car, we desire clothes, we desire to do bhakti, and so on. And then, desire itself is not enough. We must have gyan for it. If we want a particular gadget, if we want a particular apparatus, if we want a particular kind of house, a particular kind of suit, if we want to do a particular kind of sadhana, we must have the knowledge of it, the jnana. This is how it's done, this is how it's made. And then finally, even desire and knowledge are not enough. We have to have kriya. We actually have to assemble that thing, kriya, by action. We actually have to get that suit made. We actually have to make that house brick by brick, mortar on brick, and make the house. If we want to do a sadhana, we should not only have the desire or even the knowledge, the bodh gyan, but we must actually sit in the sadhana for the porish gyan, which is the experience of the sadhana. So, in this story, which must have been thousands of years ago, the one part of Vishwakarma telling Shiva to pick up the trident from the sand was like what the modern mystics call the power of visualization. He wanted to tell Shiva that the power is within you, and you only have to visualize it to make it happen. And the second part, the Trishula itself, the weapon of Shiva, is to be able to amalgamate the 3 Shaktis of Ichha, Gyan and Kriya. And then it becomes a 3-pronged effort into whatever which we are trying to do. So I hope you liked this story. Meet me again here on the next Monday for yet another story. Om Namah Shivaya.